Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this MSI P65 Creator 8RF-442US. There's a whole bunch of other numbers there, but I'm not going to read that because it's like more for these specifications. But here you can see P65 Creator 8RF. Alright, so this computer isn't turning on at all. Most likely a bad motherboard, but I'm just going to open up and take a look inside and see if I see anything strange. Alright, we're going to use a JIS1 screwdriver to remove all the screws from the bottom. You want to keep them in order because they can be different size, shape, and length. The way I do that, I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. I think the customer told me that they opened this before to replace the battery, so I have a feeling they didn't remove some of the screws and then damaged the bottom casing here, because they didn't tear open this factory seal. And yeah, I was like, how'd you remove the screws without tearing that thing? And he was like, wait, there's a screw under there. So we'll see what happens. We'll look underneath. Okay, give me a second. Oh, I'm getting some messages I might have to respond to, but let's go ahead and at least get this bottom cover off real quick. Okay, there's a battery reset button right here, that little hole. You can use a little bent out paper clip or a needle to press that. Sometimes if the computer doesn't work, you can use that and it will reset it, but I tried that and it didn't work in this case. So most likely his motherboard is toast, and I have a feeling it has something to do with this screw. It looks like he didn't take it out and he just ripped the cover up. So I can't even access that because there's plastic in the way right now. Alright, let's go ahead and get the factory seal one open here. So here there's a hole, and then there's supposed to be a screw there, but yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. It looks like they just broke it as well. Okay, 3 more screws here. Alright, and now we got all the screws out. Next thing we're going to do is pop the bottom cover off. Usually what I do, we'll see if it works with this model, is I open up the laptop and then I get my fingernail in the gap there and push with my thumb on the palm rest, not on the touchpad, just the palm rest area. And as you can see, it pops out. Okay, we're going to go around and do the same thing. And it actually popped out relatively easy. It seems the sides already just popped up. And then you can kind of wiggle this. Okay, I just kind of wiggled that as I pulled it, and there we go, it popped out. You can see it comes with this back plate piece. And there's actually not really much in here to look at. Here's the part where the factory screw thing was just ripped out. It looks like there's some foil here, and you can see where that screw is. So I feel, oh, maybe that's what happened. I think this foil went onto these. Let me zoom in here. I don't think I'm going to take this whole thing apart, but let me show you this real quick. So this foil was underneath this plastic stuff. And because they didn't take it out right, you can see it ripped this piece off. Okay. And I'm assuming same with the other one. Here you can see how it's supposed to be. So the plastic's supposed to be like that. Okay, so it's part of this, and then the foil kind of just holds it there. But you can see since he didn't do it right, he just ripped the things out. So this little screw mount is actually supposed to be, oops, sorry. It's actually supposed to be like lined up like this, it looks like. And then this foil thing is supposed to be attached up here. Okay, so I have a feeling that's what killed it. Let me see if he's lucky and it will turn on after removing that foil, because sometimes after you clear out the short, it will fix it. I'm going to take out the 2 screws that he missed. There's that one and then this one down here. Okay, and then I don't know if the screw or the battery, if he put that in the right way. If he put it in upside down, then that could have also fried it. Let me see if I can line this thing up right. Okay, so basically these screw mounts are supposed to be like lined up there, but again, he tore them out. Okay, so we got all those screws out. I'm going to press and hold the little button here. Again, there's a little hole that you can reach through to disconnect that if you wanted. Alright, I don't know why, but they build these MSI laptops where everything upgradable is on the opposite side of the motherboard. So you would have to take the entire motherboard out just to get to the rest. Okay, so I press and held that button. Let's go ahead and see if we can do anything, if it will power on. Nothing's happening. Let's try his charger real quick. Give me a second, I'm gonna plug it in. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Let's go ahead and plug this thing in here. I don't see a battery charge light or anything. It's completely dead, so I don't think anything's gonna happen. Yeah, nothing's happening at all. Let's see if we take out the battery that they put in here. Okay, there's 2 screws, or 3 screws, I guess, going along the top. But I think it's already toast, so it's probably too late. Alright, then we got the wiring, the red and black ones for the speaker. You want to unroute that from here, so when we lift the battery up, it's not going to get caught. Okay, I think that's good. Let's see, can we lift the battery up or no? Let's try and start from the back here. Okay, so I can lift this up, and we have the battery here. I'm going to grab this wire and kind of just wiggle it side to side to kind of walk the connector out. There we go. Okay, it looks like you can only plug in one way. And the battery model number is right there, BTY-M6L, assuming they put the right battery in there. Okay, I'm gonna try resetting the CMOS BIOS battery here. There's a little connector there. I'm gonna grab that with some needle nose pliers. I don't know if you can see it. Let me try and show you again, right there. Okay, so I'm gonna grab that with needle nose pliers and wiggle it to pull it out. Okay, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and open this back up. I'm gonna first press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds to drain any residual power. All right, makes it safer to work on, but in this case, I'm just trying to drain out the power. Okay, we'll give it a few, like 5 more seconds. All right, let's also see if we can short out the CMOS battery connector in there. So try and get in there, and I'll try and short the 2 pins together. Okay. All right, oops, sorry, you can't even see what I'm doing, but basically I'm using my screwdriver to short out the 2 CMOS BIOS battery pins. Okay, should be good. Let's go ahead and plug that back in now. So I'm just gonna line it back up and push it back in. And if you're watching, make sure the red wire is going out this way and the black wire is going out that way. Okay, especially if you're gonna replace that battery. We're gonna lift this up again. I'm gonna plug it back in and let's see what happens. Okay, so we'll plug this in. Nothing. Okay, I mean there's no battery, so I wouldn't expect anything to light up. But the power button, nothing's happening. Yeah, I think it's completely fried. So I'll have to talk with the customer. Oh, I just noticed what's going on. Look at that. You see that? I just noticed that. Why did I not notice that earlier? There's some liquid there. I don't know what it is. It seems oily. It doesn't have a smell to it, but it's like, it's not water. It's like grease. Interesting. Like, I don't know if you can see, it's like making my thumb shiny. Come on, focus. See it? It's like some kind of grease was spilled in here. Look at that. I don't know. So, all right. So it looks like there was some kind of spill going on here. Some oily spill. Let's see if I can peel this whole thing off. See if there's anything weird underneath. I don't really see anything under there. It was just on the screen cable for some reason. Let's lift that up and move this back. Okay, if you are removing this, this is the LCD LVDS connector. Again, keep in mind that, oh shoot, okay, there's a lot of that oily stuff under here. Can you see that? Keep in mind you do need to do the battery drain before doing that. It's on the fan too. So I don't know what happened. They spilled some kind of like oil or something in there. So I'm gonna let the customer know and see what they want to do. Yeah, because I don't know if this will be repairable with whatever they spilled in there. Okay. Alright, it looks like this is the adhesive. They put an adhesive, oops, they put an adhesive square here and here. We cleaned off the rest. Alright, let me see. Is there signs of spill on the bottom floor? I didn't notice anything here. Oh yeah. It's so hard to see. Let's see, I have to like tilt it a certain, you see that? There's an ant crawling on it. Get out of here. Okay. See that? There's like some of that, whatever that greasy stuff is. I don't know. But that seems to be what killed it. That explains it. And I probably should have checked with the voltmeter, but it's too late now to see if that liquid is conductive. I don't think it will work now that I have it on this paper towel. Probably not. Oh, I need to get a voltmeter. Okay, I don't know. There's no more puddles of that liquid for me to test. So, I don't know. Let me get a voltmeter real quick. I'll see what happens. Also, this plastic thing was just rolling around in there. Throw that away. Okay, I'm going to try with the voltmeter and see if there's enough of it on this paper towel to form a closed circuit. So I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Let's go ahead and try. So we got this set, the ohm setting there. I don't think it'll work because there's not enough of it, but yeah, no. See if I touch them together, it goes to 0, but there's not enough of that oily stuff for me to test here. I can probably test like the surface of the fans, but it's not what we're trying to find out. Oh, actually, okay, no, nothing. But I don't know. I did see that oily stuff, so I don't know what else it could be, but it looks like that oily stuff is probably, there's a little bit on this around the screw hole here, but not enough like as a puddle, so I don't think it's gonna work. But yeah, not getting anything from that little bit of spillage. Okay, I'm gonna ask the customer if they know what it is. You can see around that screw hole there's some there, so I'm gonna ask them and see if they know what it is, because that's kind of weird. I've never seen that. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. So, I don't know. Let's go ahead and try disassembling this whole thing. Okay. Oh, there's like some greasy stuff there too. It's kind of leaving behind some greasy residue. But it didn't seem like it's conductive, at least from what I tested. So, let's go ahead and get this thing apart. See if there's any more grease underneath the motherboard, and then put it all back together. Okay. So let's go ahead and disconnect this CMOS BIOS battery again. Alright, excuse me. We're going to be taking all the screws out. It does help to kind of mark them, like where the screws came from, because they don't really have any markings here. So there's one screw here. We're going to remove that one. Okay, and I'll mark this with a line. Okay, there's not really too many screws here that I see. There's one more over here. Maybe, are these only 2 screws holding the motherboard down? I'll be surprised. Looks like they might be only those 2 screws. So maybe you don't need to mark it because it's kind of easy to see across. Alright, let's go ahead and start removing other components. We have this little, actually, should I zoom in here? Okay, so we got this little connector here. This is for the battery charging status light there. We're going to flip this latch up there, grab this cable. I'm just grabbing the blue tab and then we can use that to help pull it back, and there you go. We're going to continue working our way over here. We got the touchpad trackpad connector here. We'll flip that latch up, and then we'll pull that out. We got the keyboard backlight connector here. We'll flip that latch up, and then we'll pull this out. Be careful here because this one doesn't have a real tab to grab, so I'm going to get underneath the loop and then use that to pull it out. We got this also for the touchpad trackpad. All right, we'll flip that latch up, and then we'll pull that out. And then we got this cable here for the keyboard. We'll flip that latch up. Okay, and then we'll pull that cable out. Same thing, get in the loop and then pull that out. All right, we got the wireless card here with the wireless antennas running along there. Okay, they put a little red thing on the one for the white antenna and then nothing for the black antenna. All right, but we'll remove these as well. So the antennas, I just grab close to the tail and then I just pull straight up. Okay, just like that. And if you don't need to remove these, be careful because sometimes these can break easily. All right, I'll grab from the tail and pull straight up. So sometimes the solder job here for these wireless cards are bad, and then the little connector comes off inside of the antenna, and then you're pretty much screwed. That thing's gonna be stuck in there. All right, we got that screw out. And then we're gonna I'm gonna get my finger to lift this slightly, and then this little part where it's raised, I use my fingernail to help kind of pull it there. And you can see we can pull that out just like that. All right, we'll set the wireless card aside with the screw. All right, we got the speaker connector here. So kind of grab there. If you have small needle nose pliers, you can do that, but I just grabbed there and kind of just wiggled it to pull it out. Usually it's best to grab by the little wings of that connector, but it looks like it came out okay. All right, so the wireless antennas look like they go over the motherboard, so we do have to unroute that. So wiggle that over here. There's some tape here holding it in place, so we're going to peel this up. Okay, and then we will peel that off, and we will unroute that, and then we will wiggle this aside. All right, so now we got that out. There's also a connector here, which I think is for the power button, and actually this thing is crooked, so it could be that might be the issue, but let's go ahead and continue taking it out because there was that oily spill, and I don't want to leave any oil underneath the motherboard. All right, so we got that out. Let's zoom out a bit. Okay, and then can we lift this now, or are there hidden screws somewhere here? It doesn't seem to want to move. I don't know if there's hidden screws underneath this tape. It doesn't seem like it, but something is holding it down. Actually, maybe. Are there hidden screws underneath this tape? Let's see. We'll peel some up and take a look. No? Okay. There is one thing though. The headphone jacks do protrude out into the side of the casing, so we probably have to actually lift it from the left side over here. And hopefully we got all the connectors out. Actually, this side doesn't want to lift either, so what are we going to do there? Okay, it looks like we can lift this side. The USB-C port protrudes a tiny bit, so we might have to pull this casing out slightly. Let's try and wiggle this as we kind of pull. I'm kind of wiggling the board, and oh, there we go. Okay, we're going to slowly, carefully lift it up at an angle here, so just like this. It does feel stuck on something under here. Oh, there we go. Okay, so there was some adhesive, so I helped like pull it up there, and you can see it's coming out now. All right, we're gonna slide this. Be careful because the wireless antennas are sliding out through there. Okay, and there we go. Get those wireless antennas out. Okay, so here you can see there's 2 slots for RAM. There's 2 slots for SSDs. And the CMOS BIOS battery is actually mounted to the back of the motherboard. Interesting. This thing is super dirty and dusty, so we are going to have to clean that up. I'm just going to use a toothbrush, brush it off a little, and then use an air blower to blow out the loose dust. There's dust here as well. So I'm going to actually take that out and then clean that up real quick, and I'll be back. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit, and then I'll go over what type of RAM and SSDs there are in there. Alright, so I'm back. You can see the fans are all a bunch cleaner now. Okay, clean that out, and I didn't really see, there's a little bit of the oily stuff actually here, as you can see. So I will have to clean that out. But other than that, I don't really see much of that oily stuff, so hopefully the computer's okay. Oh, there's a little bit on the sides here as well. I don't know what that oily stuff is that got in there. It's a little bit on this screw area as well. Can't really get in there to clean it though. Oh, there we go. Okay, cleaned it off. Alright, and it looks like, is that oily stuff? Oh, it's on this as well. This part that's sticking up. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little bit shiny, greasy looking. Looks like it's okay. I didn't see any really too much on the motherboard or anything, so I think we should be okay. Alright, so as for the SSD, and of course you want to keep yourself grounded if you're wondering how I'm like just moving the motherboard all over the place. This is a M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD, so if you want to replace it with another one, you can. I'm pretty sure you can add a second PCIe NVMe SSD here. There's the screw already there. Here you have the RAM. The RAM is, well, let's pull this out. So you pull these two tabs to the side. Alright, and if you're doing anything with the RAM, you want to make sure that you put it back really well, because if it's loose or anything, your computer's not going to turn on and you're going to have to do all of this again. So this is a 16 gig stick, PC4 2666V. So if you want, you can get another 16 gig stick and have 32 gigs total. Again, PC4 2666V. Alright, so you put it in at an angle like that, and then you click it down. Alright, so make sure it clicks in on both sides and that it's all the way in. Okay, and I think that's pretty much it. We can just reattach the CMOS BIOS battery from here. Easier that way than doing it while the thing is in place. And let's put it back together, and hopefully something we did got it to work again. Alright, so we're going to have to put the headphone jack side in first, so let's zoom out a little bit so you can kind of see everything, hopefully. Okay, and the tricky part is making sure all the cables end up back on top. So we do want to grab the wireless antennas and thread them back through. Okay, make sure those go back in. Move the LCD LVDS connector out. And if you're wondering, you can actually remove the screen easily. There's the few screws here. You do want to open up the screen all the way, hang it off the edge of your desk, and then undo those screws. And then after you do that, you can usually let the screen drop to 90 degrees with the body and then just lift it up. All right. Anyways, we're going to get this in now. Again, make sure these cables don't get smashed. Okay. Again, headphone jack side in first. There we go. It looks like it's in. Then we got to get all these cables again out of the way. Alright, there's a lot of cables here. Just make sure they're all out of the way. Don't forget the power button cable up here as well. Slowly lowering it down. Okay, we also got the connector for the battery indicator light there. Okay, it's kind of hard to keep it out of the way, but we might have to pull this one out of the way after we get it in. Alright, these little rubber things kind of get in the way, so make sure when you're lowering it down that you're not like trying to smash those things down into the casing. And then make sure the USB-C port goes down all the way and lines up. Alright, and I think everything looks good. All the cables are on top that we need, I think. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, let's go ahead and get the two screws back in. Alright, so we'll get that one. And the one over here. Alright, then we're going to do the LCD LVDS connector. Make sure the latch is up. Let me zoom in a bit here. Okay, so there is the adhesive there, so make sure I keep my finger under to keep it from sticking down right away. We'll get this connector in. Make sure it goes in all the way. You'll know because when you flip this latch down, it kind of like covers that white line that goes across. Then you can press down here and then work your way up. Okay, speaker connector here, don't forget that as well. It's a little bit tricky because it's hard to see, but line it up with the little connector hole and then push that in. All right, there we go. Okay, wireless antennas, they do go in this little groove here. All right, I'm going to put this one first because it goes to the right, and then this one to the left. And we got this adhesive tape stuff, so this goes down in between the two white lines, and then just tape that back down in place. Okay, wireless card here. Get this, line it up. Okay, lower it down and then just push it in. Good. All right, get that screw. Put that back in. Okay, so again, the one with the red on it goes to the white hole, the white arrow one, and then the no one, it goes to the black. We do also have to get it underneath this little protruding part of the motherboard so it doesn't end up going over this screw mount and then end up getting smushed and damaged there. So we're gonna push the wireless antennas down into there. Good. Okay, so we'll get the black wire in first. Actually, it doesn't really matter, but whichever one's easier for you. Actually, I'll get the white arrow one in first. So let me zoom in a bit more here. Okay, line it up. You know it's lined up because if you try and wiggle it around, it stays in there, and then click it down. There we go. Second one, last one, line it up and click it down. All right, you can actually hear and feel it click. Let's zoom back out. Oh, actually I shouldn't zoom out because we have to plug in all this. Let's get the keyboard connector in. Make sure the latch is up on the back there. Okay, then get that lined up. Okay, and then I use the little raised part of the connector to help push it in with my fingernail. Just like that, and then slide your finger over the latch. Then we got the touchpad, trackpad connector here. Same thing, get that lined up. Okay, get that in, and then slide your finger over to latch it in. Keyboard backlight connector. Line it up. Push that in. I use my fingernail again at the raised part, and then make sure it's straight. Slide your finger over and latch it in. Other trackpad connector here. Line it up, push it in, and latch it down. All right, we got the connector over here for the battery indicator light. Make sure the latch is up. Get the connector in, slide your finger over to latch it down. Good. And then obviously the power button connector as well. Get this in, line it up, push that in all the way, slide your finger over and latch it down. Okay, and make sure it's good. All right, give me a second. I might be getting messages. Yep. Okay, give me a second. I'll be back. All right, so I'm back. Let's go ahead and finish putting this thing back together. We already got most of it back in. I think we just need the battery now. So let me zoom out here. Okay, we need to get a thumbnail of this. All right, we also have to put back this plastic sheet. It's not really a necessary component, but it was there. So let's just put it back. Line it up with those little black rubber pieces that are there. Okay, I think that should be it. Okay, let's get the battery back in and see if we are lucky. All right, so I'm not sure if that connector is supposed to be on top, but we'll get the battery connector in first. Oh, wait, where was this rubber piece supposed to be? Because it was in the way of the battery. Was it underneath the computer? I don't know. Anyways, let's get this in, line it up. Okay. And if you're putting this in, this does have a little raised notch here that faces down, and the slot actually has that cut out for that. All right, so we'll push that back in. Just like this. Okay, looks good. We'll go over here and let's get the speaker wire up out of the way. So this one needs to be routed. It goes under this first notch, over this one, under this one, over this one, and now the battery's... Okay, never mind. I think the battery connector is supposed to go underneath, but we already put it in, so I guess I gotta take it back out. Okay, so we'll put the battery connector underneath this time. Get that in. Push the battery back in. Okay, make sure it goes in all the way. Alright, then we'll get this back here. Okay, let's get this back. Under, over, under, over. Okay, over, and under this one. There's actually a lot of excess slack here of this wire, so maybe, I don't know. Interesting. Was it supposed to go underneath the battery connector? Well, as long as it doesn't get clamped on anything, it should be okay. We got this piece. I'm not sure where it goes, but I'm just going to put it here behind the battery connector. Okay. Again, this was opened by the customer before, so I don't know if anything was mixed up. We're going to get these 3 screws back in. Alright, and hopefully this video helps you guys out. Again, if it does, please make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel, share my channel so others can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. Leave a comment. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. But yeah, other than that, we just got to get all of this back in and we should be good to go. Make sure this wire for the battery is out of the way, so I just tuck that down there. You don't want it up here where the screws are going to end up like piercing it. Okay, so I guess I don't know if this makes sense as a thumbnail because you can't see anything on top. But anyways, we'll get this back on. Make sure you don't accidentally damage this cable with the back of this piece here. So we're going to kind of tilt it forward like that to get that over. Let's take a look back here. Looks good. I'm just going to line up all this stuff. Click this all into place here. Okay. And then work our way down the sides and the front. And it clicks into place. Alright, and then we just got to get all the screws back in and we should be good to go, assuming the computer turns on. We'll find out. But let's go ahead and get these screws back in. That came out. Okay, looks like that plastic piece that was there moved out of the way. So, I don't know. Alright, got the other screw here. Hopefully those will be okay because the customer just damaged those and they just go through to the bottom. Alright, and then let's get the last several screws in and then we'll try powering it up. Alright, it's a lot of screws. Okay. I think they actually broke a lot of these because the screws are going through the plastic, through the connector. Uh-oh, did we put one screw in the wrong spot? We gotta take all of this back out. We messed up. Or I messed up. Alright, let's open this back up, pop the bottom cover off again. Same thing as before. Pop it out. Come on. Why is this side up? There we go. Okay. Wiggle it. Work our way up again. Wiggle it off. Come on. Come on. There we go. This screw's supposed to be here. I put it too high. Okay. There we go. And put this back again. Again, slide it over this way. Okay. Click that all into place. Perfect. Click that all down. And let's get all these screws back in. I think when they opened this, they like bent out the metal piece. They were probably trying to pry the cover off. Okay, just get all these screws in. Okay. Six more screws. Last 3. Alright, last screw. There we go. Let's go ahead and flip this thing back over. And let's power it up. See if it turns on. Oh, the light just flashed. Uh-oh, it shut off. It might be, okay, it's turning back on. So it might be because we reset the CMOS or the BIOS by disconnecting the BIOS battery. This light's on, nothing's on the screen. There's a little bit of the keyboard lit up. Okay, so I think we should be good to go. Let's turn this off. You can see the keyboard parts lit up, and it's still kind of doing its thing. Oh, it turned back off. Let's see, it's turning itself back on again. Okay, that's good. Come on, come on. Wake up, please. Wake up. Don't make it so I did all of that for nothing. So it's still nothing on the screen. It's interesting, the keyboard, like the center is like lit up way brighter. Oh, it shut off again. Come on. Okay, we got the, oh, we had the MSI shield thingy. There you go. So I think we should be good to go. Where's the Windows loading thing? Come on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Come on. There we go. So Windows is actually already loaded here. So that's pretty much it. Oh, is it showing the battery's like almost dead? It shouldn't be. The customer told me they left it plugged in charging. So yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, again, please make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel. Okay, it is showing the battery's charging. Share my channel so that others can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helps you save a bunch of money, again, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Links and ways to do that are in the description below. But yeah, other than that, thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.